Hi, Addie. This is me trying to answer your question. I wasn't really sure what you were talking about, so I'll just explain some things and hope I'm covering what you really meant to ask me. There are two types of equations that you're graphing on your homework. For the linear equations, you are going to use your slope and your y-intercept. So in this case, my y-intercept is -4, so I have to go 0, -4, plot a point. And my slope is -2, which means I'm going to go down 2 and to the right 1, down 2 and to the right 1, which you can see I did. I don't really think about what to number this by or this by. I'm just paying attention to the slope and y-intercept. The other type of equations that you had were the exponential. Those are the ones when I asked you to use these for the x, the domain, and then you had to solve for the range numbers. So on this first one, I did -2 to the -2, which is really -1/2 squared, and -1/2 squared is 1/4. And then if you multiply that 1/4 times -2, you're going to get -1/2. So my first answer is -1/2. I kept doing that. -2 to the -1st is -1/2. If you multiply that by this -2, your y-intercept, you get 1. Over here, when you put in a 0, -2 to the 0 power is 1. Anything is. And 1 times -2 is -2 for 0. For 1, -2 to the first is -2. -2 times -2 is +4. And then -2 to the second, if you did -2 times -2, you get 4. And then you do that times the -2, and now you have -8. So when you asked what I do for the y, well, I have to look at what the y numbers are after I create my table, which you should write down, and then decide what to count by. I would probably count by ones, but I'd probably skip lines so that it was really easy to graph the halves, because this is a small range of numbers. You're at 1/2, and your -1/2, and your high is 8. Your lowest number is 8, and then your highest number is 4. So you could probably either count by ones or 1/2s, your choice on the y-axis, just as long as you can plot these points. Hope that helped.